Hello! 3 cards this lovely morning revealed for the Boomsday expansion. First up is Storm Chaser, 4 mana 3/4 elemental for Shaman with the Battlecry. Draw a spell from your deck that costs 5 or more mana. Wow wow wee woo. A card that draws you Bloodlust? This could be crazy for an aggro deck. It makes an aggro deck that solely focuses on filling the board and drawing Bloodlust a lot better. But besides Bloodlust, Volcano and the Spellstone are 2 other Shaman spells that you can draw off of this. You have your Overload Giant decks and Volcano for Shudderwock Clear. At just 4 mana, the stats and drawing a specific card are pretty good in any deck it works in. What I'm actually looking forward to most with this card is if it's going to be able to draw a legendary Shaman spell that's not yet been released. My guess, with all of the elementals being printed in Shaman, it's going to be some sort of powerful elemental spell. A rest of the game elemental buff would be cool. I think Blizzard printed Storm Chaser for Shaman so they'd have access to this legendary spell more consistently in games. We'll have to wait and see, but Storm Chaser is going to be a good card for aggro Shaman, and possibly for more controlling decks based around any expensive Shaman spells. Next up is Replicating Menace. 4 mana 3/1 neutral mech with magnetic and Deathrattle, summon 3/1/1 Microbots. This is tricky to evaluate because it has nice stats, 6/4 in total, but the distribution is a bit wonky. Magnetizing a 3/1 to another mech isn't bad, gaining that 3 attack allows you to make a considerably better trade, but for 4 mana after your mech dies, the 3/1/1s are pretty vulnerable out on the board. If you combo this with Dr. Boom, the Rush lets you utilize all of the stats right away, but you're not always going to have Dr. Boom when you play this card. Replicating Menace is highly dependent on magnetizing to get value right away from its attack, but ultimately I don't think the Deathrattle makes up for the remaining cost of the minion. It could see play in the right mech deck, but I don't think it's a particularly good card. And last up is Security Rover, 6 mana 2/5 warrior mech where whenever it takes damage, summon a 2/3 mech with Taunt. I think the idea behind warrior mech was to have mechs that can take advantage of the value you get when it takes damage. You can use Whirlwind effect cards and magnetizing mechs together to buff them, but there still hasn't been one solid mech for warrior to work off of. They've all been low attack, high health minions. And the problem with these minions is that they'll get value from their effect, but ultimately they won't be able to contest the board. And board control seems like it would be the main thing in a deck that focuses on fusing minions together. Maybe Warrior can use neutral magnetic mechs to make favorable trades, but even those mechs have been a little iffy. Security Rover has a cool effect, a really powerful one in fact, but I don't think a Warrior mech deck will be able to support this card because there are too many like it, and not enough focused on just better stats and maintaining board control. There's still a few cards to reveal for Warrior, but Mech Warrior doesn't look too promising. Let me know what you think about Mech Warrior. Those are the only cards for now, but I'll be back later tonight with a video on a Cthulhu looking card. Until then, ta-ta.